Today, we're going to forget the stereotypes of passivity or perfection that often haunt portrayals of biblical women. We are going to look at a prophetess under a palm tree, a queen with a killer dinner strategy, a tent peg assassin, and a tambourine songstress. What do these people have in common? They were the original powerhouses who shook up the Bible's boy club. We are talking about Deborah, Esther, Jael, and Miriam. They shattered expectations and rewrote rules in their own bold ways. Each of them have a unique story, a distinct strength, and a mission that not only saves lives, but left a legacy. But what makes these women relatable to us today? Is the fact that their power didn't come from title or privilege. It literally came from the ability to step up and make tough decisions, something that we've been preaching over and over again. They trusted their role in their story and they did exactly what mattered in the moment, whether it meant leading armies, crafting ingenious plans, or just taking a bold, decisive action when it counted the most, even if it meant literally crushing people. These women showed us that true strength lies in courage, faith, and in using the resources we have at hand. Welcome to Growth and Grace. My name is Chido, and today we are going to be diving into the 4 powerful women in the Bible. I have chosen 4 of these because they are the ones I know about for now, and I have chosen to draw some inspiration and share it with you, hoping that they might inspire you as well. We're going to start with Deborah, the one who are coined to be the prophetess under the palm tree. She was the warrior judge. You can find her story in Judges 4 to 5. When we meet Deborah in Judges 4, Israel is in disarray, oppressed by King Jabin of Canaan. Deborah is introduced not only as a prophetess, but as a judge of Israel. She was a one-woman judiciary. She was powerful and wise. Yes, she was the judge. People came from far and wide to seek her counsel, which she offered from beneath the shade of the palm tree in a hill country of Ephraim. God calls Deborah to step up during one of the darkest periods of Israel's history. She receives a divine command to summon Barak, the military commander, and tell him to lead the army against Sisera, Jabin's powerful general. Barak hesitates, demanding that Deborah accompany him into battle. Deborah agrees, but warns him, "The honor will not be yours, for the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman." This did not sit well with Barak, but either way, it did not stop the prophecy from unfolding in a quite dramatic fashion, I might say. Because Barak goes on to lead the Israelites into battle, defeating Sisera's army. But Sisera himself escapes, only to meet his end at the hands of a woman, as prophesied. After the victory, Deborah composes a triumphant song recorded in Judges 5, celebrating God's deliverance and the bravery of those who fought. This poetic masterpiece cements her legacy as a warrior of faith and a beacon of hope for a nation in turmoil. As prophesied by Deborah, we then jump into the tent peg assassin. Her name was Jael. Jael's tale is brief but unforgettable. Sisera, the commander of King Jabin's army, flees after his crushing defeat at the hands of Barak and the Israelites. Exhausted and desperate, he seeks refuge in the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, a clan allied with Jabin. Jael welcomes him warmly, offering milk to soothe and a blanket to hide under. As Sisera falls into a deep sleep, Jael seizes this moment, picks up a tent peg and a hammer, and drives the peg through Sisera's temple, killing him instantly. When Barak arrives in pursuit of Sisera, Jael presents him with the gruesome evidence of her victory. This act fulfills Deborah's prophecy that Sisera would be delivered into the hands of a woman. Jael's boldness and decisive action make her an unexpected hero in Israel's liberation. How good is that? How wonderful. The prophecy fulfilled. We continue to celebrate women in power. Do you remember when I mentioned that there was a queen with the killer strategy at the dinner table? We're going to talk about Esther, the risk-taking queen. She even has her own book, so you find her story in the book of Esther. Esther's story begins with an unlikely twist of faith. Born As an orphan in Persia and raised by her cousin Mordecai, she is selected to join King Xerxes' harems. After Queen Vashti is deposed, despite her humble beginnings, Esther wins the king's favor and becomes queen, though she keeps her Jewish heritage a secret. The plot thickens when Haman, a high ranking official, convinces the king to issue a decree that would annihilate all the Jews in the empire. Mordecai urges Esther to intervene, famously declaring, "Who knows that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Esther risks her life by approaching the king uninvited, something that was punishable by death. But again, she finds favor as the king extends his scepter to her and allows her to speak. A move that was very bold. She invites Xerxes and Haman to two banquets. She invited him to the first one, and the king asked her, "What shall I do for you, my queen?" She did not say anything. And then she was plotting her strategy. Because as it stands, Haman had already plotted for Mordecai's death. So, on the second dinner, he asked again, "What can I do for you, my queen?" She strategically built to her revelation, where she finally said that she was about to be annihilated, her and her whole empire. Of course, this did not sit well with the king. She then went on to expose Haman's plot, and she then went on to reveal her own Jewish identity, leading to Haman's downfall, where he was then executed on the own same thing that he had built to execute the Jews. This led to the salvation of her people, the Jewish people, and this means that Esther's courage and wisdom turned the tide, and the Jewish festival of Purim is established to commemorate this deliverance. She took a very bold step, risking her own life and even leading the whole nation into 3 days of prayer and fasting, which then led to the Lord answering her prayers and her finding favor in the eyes of the king and her saving a whole generation, a whole nation. What could beat that? As we conclude, we come to the fourth woman that I chose, which is Miriam, and I've coined her the songstress of triumph, for she was known for her singing and playing of the tambourine. We find her in Exodus, and also she is mentioned in Numbers. First, in Exodus 2, she appears as a quick-thinking young girl. When Pharaoh orders the unaliving of all Hebrew baby boys, Miriam watches over her baby brother Moses, who was hidden in a basket along the Nile. When Pharaoh's daughter discovers the basket, Miriam steps forward, offering to find a nurse for the baby, ensuring that Moses was taken care of by their own mother. Years later, after Moses leads the Israelites out of Egypt, Miriam emerges as a prophetess and a leader in her own right. In Exodus 15, after God parts the Red Sea and delivers Israel from Pharaoh's army, Miriam leads the women into a jubilant song of triumph. Sing to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. Both horse and driver has been hauled into the sea. You find this in Exodus 15. However, Miriam's story is not without its struggles. In Numbers 12, she challenges Moses' authority, leading to a temporary punishment with leprosy. Despite this, she remains a significant figure in Israel's history, remembered for her role in Exodus and her prophetic leadership. I hope you enjoy these stories, and if you have anything more about these ladies, I would really love to learn more because this is a learning journey. I know that what I've seen from these is that each of these women defied expectations in their own way. Deborah led with wisdom and faith, rallying a nation to victory, while Jael acted boldly and decisively, seizing a moment in history and fulfilling Deborah's prophecy. Esther risked her life to save her people, demonstrating strategic brilliance, while Miriam inspired hope and unity, leading with song and courage. These women matter today because these stories are not just ancient history, they are living lessons in a world still grappling with questions of leadership, equality, and faith. These women remind us that true power is found in courage, faith, and action. So, whether you're leading a boardroom, or a household, or a movement, their lives offer inspiration to step into your own calling for such a time as this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.